Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Create Your Life. My name is Simone, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. Today, I would like to talk about making money with your passions. Okay, and I want to share this with you guys because I think it's so important for people, because a lot of the time they tend to think that they might love something, but they can't make money from it, or they might be making a little bit of money from it and just surviving. You know what I mean? So some examples here could be someone who's an artist and they make a little bit of money from their art, but they don't actually believe that they could make a lot of money from their art. They don't believe that art could become an income form for them. And I think that it's really important to understand that you can make money from the things you love. And there are different ways to go about doing this, but I really want to point out to you guys the ways that I've done it so that you guys can get an understanding of how I go about some of my processes, and maybe it'll help you guys. So I have obviously known the things that I enjoy during my life. Okay. So if I was looking at a way to make money from my passions, the very first thing that I would do is look at the things that I enjoy. Okay. So that's an easy one for me. It's things like singing, dancing, talking to people, connecting with people, learning, growing, creating, which is obviously the entrepreneurial part of me. I never ever considered myself a business owner because to me that sounded so structured and rigid. And yeah, I was not that. I was always very creative. So I was always very entrepreneurial. That's the way I always thought of that. And I've always had interest in those things. Okay. So it's never changed. I've always been someone who is doing things and creating things and building things and, running around singing and dancing and being happy and living life like it's a musical, essentially. A funny story recently, actually, a friend of mine asked me to make a playlist for her wedding. And I was like, I don't think you're going to like the music I listen to, because I am the girl that has a Disney playlist. And don't think she wanted that played. But anyway, that's a complete digress. And the point of that was that you can have all of these things that you know you love and that you've identified within yourself and still make money from them. But there is another step that I would take before I necessarily created a business around any of those things, because I love all of those things and I've always loved all of those things and I'm always going to love all of those things. But I think when you're looking at the sort of business you want to make and turning that love for something into an income, I think it's really, really important to understand what your values are as a human, like what your values are as you right now. What do you value? What do you want to get from this business? Because there is so much opportunity in the world that we live in today. You can essentially make money doing pretty much anything. But if you can understand your values, you'll be able to make money during doing something that you actually really love doing and that is so much more sustainable. Okay. So one of my values is travel. And when I was 20, I started a dance studio and I loved that. I thought it was amazing. It was such a beautiful experience. But I was 20. I wanted to go out traveling and I'd created this business that I loved, but it wasn't at that age and with the maturity that I had, it was not allowing me the freedom that I needed because I didn't know enough. And I'm not saying that everybody has that. There are 20-year-olds who run dance studios that do have that freedom. But for me at that point in time, having that dance studio wasn't working for my values of freedom and being able to explore and grow and expand, because I needed to be at that studio. The actual reason that I sold that studio was because I had trained someone up to manage the studio so I could travel. And then she needed to leave because she had some family things come up, which is totally fine. And I had to make the decision whether I wanted to train someone else or whether I wanted to move in a different direction. And I chose to move in a different direction, which was deciding that I wanted my income to become an online income. That was something that I knew would really address my value of freedom, was by knowing that I should make my income online instead of being tied to a place. Okay, so by identifying our values, we can do things in a different way and have that more nurture and more support. So for example, if we use dancing again, you can literally be a dance teacher who has one studio. You can literally be a dance teacher who runs online classes. You can literally be a dance teacher who travels the world performing and teaching at festivals and workshops and things like that. You can be a dance teacher who literally owns a franchise and has multiple locations. There are so many ways for you to do the thing that you want to do. And then, like, obviously, if you're a dance teacher, you obviously still want to dance. So you can also make income doing shows and like doing privates. And there are so many ways, is what I'm getting at, is for you to be able to make an income, but understanding your actual personal values is going to help you to create a business that does make money from your passion, that doesn't burn you out. Because if it's in alignment with your values and it's also your passion, then you're going to be moving forward in a really, really aligned and easy way than if you were to build something with your passion but not necessarily understand your values, and you've built something that is in conflict with those values. So a great exercise for this is having a look. Just type into Google different values that people could have. There's so many different values. There's like freedom, there's connection, there's community, there's learning is a value, I think. There's so many different values. I can't even remember. I've got a list of 10 that I redo and look at my values all year, and I adjust the order of them, and then I print them out and put them in my bathroom. And right now I can't even remember what they are, which is terrible. So obviously we're not needing that for this video. But the thing is that I'm getting at is having a look at and understanding your values is going to help you to put that business together if it's something that you're passionate about. So if your highest value is community, you don't necessarily want to create a business for yourself or a life for yourself that has you traveling all the time, because if you're traveling all the time, you're not necessarily building that community that you are craving, that's in your values. You know, if family is one of your high values and you create a business that has you traveling all the time, you're never going to see your kids, you know. And so it's really important, I think, that when you are setting up a business and looking at what you want to do with your life and trying to incorporate your passion into your business, it's really important to understand what it is that the passion is and what it is that your values are. Okay, because as mentioned, even just in the space of being a dance teacher or a dancer, there are about 8 different ways that they could make money, but not all of those ways are going to align with their values. So I think it's really important to understand this. And what I would do is I would literally take out a pen and paper and write out all the things you love, all the things you're passionate about, that you would love to start a business about. Might be 3 things, might be 10. And then go and figure out and do some Google. Just get on Google and be like, values and have a look at what your personal values are. As I said, I every year have 10 and I review those. Like, they're literally in my bathroom, up like on the mirror and also in the shower, so that I can see them and I know what my values are. And the orders change all the time on what my highest values are for each like segment of my life, each little chapter of my life, each phase of my life. And that could change within a month, it could change within a week. Sometimes the orders will just drop and shift a little. But essentially I know what my core 8 to 10 values are. It's just the order that changes because I know what those highest values are. I know what's going to make me happy. And then from there, I can actually incorporate my passion into a money making or revenue making business or idea that supports my values and supports my passion, you know. And that's the main thing. Building a business for yourself or building a life for yourself that has you feeling restricted and like you're stuck is not going to be fueling your passion. It's not going to be fueling you, you know. And that's why we want to turn our passions into money making situations, because who doesn't want to spend every day doing what they love and actually get paid for it, you know? So understanding your values will allow you to do that. So for example, one of my highest values involves travel. And so that's why for me, I'm less drawn to a business that's going to have me in a 9 to 5 situation, because that's not going to allow me that freedom to travel and do what I want to do and experience what I want to experience. And so like for you, you might be different. Your values might be different. As I said, they might be around community and family. And so for you, traveling a lot is going to be a different value, which means you're going to be able to use that passion in a different way. Okay. Oh, let's take another example, actually, just for everybody. Another example would be a photographer, for example. So if your values are that you want to have a photography business, you can literally have a photography store. You can literally be a photographer in a set location, but you've got to spend the time to build the audience for that. You've got to spend the time in your area and your neighborhood, letting people know that you're there, ready to do the sort of photography that you want to do. But you can still be a photographer with completely different values of traveling the world. And at that point, you're looking at things more like providing photographs for, you know, nature magazines and stock imagery and stuff like that. But you can still be a photographer and live that life as well. So I really just want you guys to understand that you can create a business with your passions. You can easily do it, but understanding what your actual values are is going to make it so much more enjoyable for you. It's going to help you to know what steps to take next. And it's going to just help you to stay in that passion and not in a state of burnout. So I hope this helps. I hope you guys get some value out of this video. I've loved being able to share this with you, and I can't wait to connect with you guys again. If you know anybody that needs to see this video, please share it. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon.